Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, welcome to PMDC online lecture room. This is Bakhtiar Ahmad, lecturer in elective English, PMDC colleges, Peshawar. Dear students, as you know that I am discussing the plot summary of the novel Far from the Madding Crowd. And in today's lecture, I will discuss the plot summary part 2 of the novel, and I will also give you an assignment. But before taking the story ahead, I would like to throw some light on my previous lecture by asking some questions. The questions are, you will find the question easy if you have carefully watched my previous lecture. As I have told you, dear students, that who were coming on the wagon and where were they coming to? Bathsheba and Mrs. Hurst, her aunt, they were coming from somewhere to Narcombe Hall. Then they were stopped at the turnpike gate for the additional 2 pence to pay. And Bathsheba, while riding a horse, she lost her hat. It was found by Gabriel Oak, and the hat was returned to her. Then Bathsheba Everdeen, she saved Gabriel Oak's life when he went unconscious in his hut. So it was Bathsheba to save his life. In the last point of my topic, Gabriel Oak, he proposed Bathsheba Everdeen, but she ruthlessly rejected his proposal. Then from this point onward, I will take the story ahead. After disappointment in love, Gabriel Oak, there were pastoral tragedies happened to Gabriel Oak, and like in the circumstances, Bathsheba unexpectedly departed to Weatherbury because she was inherited by her uncle's property. In the next tragedy, Gabriel Oak, he was soundly sleeping in his hut. In the middle of the night, his dog drew 200 sheep over the precipice on the high summit of the hill. So it was the dog who was responsible for the death of those sheep. And the dog killed 200 sheep. So in frustration, Gabriel Oak shot the dog at 12 o'clock. Then Gabriel Oak, he sold all his stock plants, his implements, and leaving himself to the clothes in which he stood, and nothing more. So from that point onward, Gabriel Oak started looking for a job. So for that purpose, he attended the hiring fair in Casterbridge, in the town of Casterbridge. So Oak stood among 200 to 300 unemployed laborers, but it was a useless attempt. Then Gabriel Oak, he played on flute for money. He collected a fair amount of money, and he set up for Shortsford Fair. After reaching there, he was exhausted, he was tired, so Oak wanted to sleep. He wanted to take rest. So Oak slept in a wagon which was stood beneath a tree. So when Gabriel Oak woke up, he found that the wagon had brought him to Weatherbury, and Gabriel Oak slipped out of the wagon unseen. What happened at that time? When Gabriel Oak slipped out of the wagon, so he noticed an unusual fire at about half a mile away. He saw the hayrick had caught fire and a wheat rick stood close by, and soon the wheat rick would catch the fire too. So with all his exhaustive efforts, Gabriel Oak extinguished the fire and saved the wheat ricks. What happened? At that time, Gabriel Oak did not know that the ricks belonged to Bathsheba Everdeen. So he was surprised to see that the ricks belonged to Bathsheba Everdeen. So it was a very pitiful sight to see. When Gabriel Oak, he was hired by Bathsheba Everdeen, Bathsheba sympathetically employed Oak as a shepherd and gave him lodging at the warrant's malt house. So Gabriel Oak, he was happy and he was feeling humble too. So on the way, when he was going toward the warrant's malt house, he met with a solitary girl, Fanny Robin, and he gave her a shilling, to which she accepted, and she asked for the buck's hidden, about which Gabriel Oak did not know. So in the circumstances, Malt's house became just a copy house. There were merrymaking, feasting, storytelling, and all of them were enjoying each other's company. So in the back scene, the bailiff, Pennyways, he was caught stealing barley from the granary, and he was dismissed on the spot by Bathsheba Everdeen. Then Fanny Robin disappeared, and Bathsheba ordered for her restoration. In the morning, William Baldwood made his appearance, and he was the old master of Fanny Robin, so he wanted to know about Fanny Robin. So he came to meet Bathsheba Everdeen to ask about Fanny, but at that time Bathsheba couldn't meet him. Then Bathsheba took the charge of a bailiff and started arranging business for her property. She visited the corn market at Casterbridge. She, in the correct professional manner, started discussing business with a farmer. So all of the farmers were greatly impressed by her beauty and charm, and all of them were attracted towards her. But Baldwood was completely lost in himself, and he completely ignored her, to which but she was irritated and annoyed to some extent. Then in the other occasion, what happened on the 3rd February, Bathsheba Everdeen, she bought a valentine, and she wanted to send a valentine to a little boy by the name of Tiddy Coggan. But it was Liddy, Bathsheba's maidservant. She misguided Bathsheba and proposed her that the valentine should be sent to William Baldwood with the words written, "Marry me," in order to take revenge from him. Bathsheba thoughtlessly sent the valentine to William Baldwood. She did not know the consequences of her attempt. So the strange letter stirred his emotions to the depths, and later on he came to know that the valentine was from Bathsheba Everdeen. So he became the second suitor of Bathsheba Everdeen, and for the first time at the occasion of sheep washing, William Baldwood proposed Bathsheba, but she tremblingly said no to his proposal. Now the problems were created for Bathsheba Everdeen. She did not know what to do. In the circumstances, at the sheep shearing occasion, Gabriel Oak scolded her for her attempt, the way she had sent the valentine letter to William Baldwood. So Bathsheba, she lost her temper and she dismissed Gabriel Oak. But later on, troubles in the fold of sheep compelled Bathsheba to reappoint Gabriel Oak. Then William Baldwood pleaded his case for the second time, then for the third time at different occasion, because he was deeply and madly in love with Bathsheba Everdeen. Bathsheba told him to give her time to think over this matter, to which Baldwood felt convinced that Bathsheba would be convinced to be his wife one day. Now in the subplot of the novel, there was an affair between Sergeant Troy, a soldier, and a poor servant girl, Fanny Robin. Fanny Robin was impregnated by Sergeant Troy, and Troy had promised her to be married in the All Saints Church. So Troy visited All Saints Church, while Fanny Robin mistakenly went to the All Souls for getting married. So it was an unsuccessful attempt, and Troy held Fanny responsible for that. Okay. Then there was an encounter between Troy and Bathsheba Everdeen. One night, on customary round, Bathsheba struck with a soldier. The soldier's spur head became entangled in Bathsheba's skirt. So it was Sergeant Troy. He was a great flatterer, so he so accomplishly complimented and flattered her that her vanity was checked. Troy had come to Weatherbury for a brief stay. On the second occasion, Bathsheba was making hay. So Troy came to help her and to ask forgiveness for too strong expression of his feeling that night. So when Bathsheba asked him the time, Troy thrust into her hand his heavy golden watch as a gift. Okay, next Troy helps her in hiving the bees and told her to show her the sword play as well. Troy showed his extraordinary skills with the sword in a hollow place in the middle of the fern tree. Bathsheba was speechless over this marvelous demonstration of his skill. So Sergeant Troy, a cunning person, finding the opportunity, he kissed Bathsheba Everdeen. So there was an infatuation between the two, and Bathsheba had a complex character, and her complex character blended with folly and intelligence. But at that time she was completely guided by her impulses. Okay, dear students, this was all about my today's lecture. The lecture is very much important from examination point of view. Dear students, I have picked up some questions from previous board papers. I hope that if you have carefully watched my today's lecture, so you will find the question very easy. Look at, these are the questions from 2015 paper. Look at, Valentine was sent to Bollywood by whom? Bathsheba. Question number 2 from 2015. Look at, how many sheep did Gabriel Oak lose? How many sheep? 200 sheep. Question number 3. What did Oak use to play? What was he playing? It was also from 2016. It was a flute that he used to play. Question number 4. It is taken from also 2016. Yes, it is taken from the original text. 40, I should say. Very handsome, rather stern looking and rich. This has been said about William Baldwood. Okay, question number 5. It is from 2017. Troy assisted Bathsheba in beehiving. Okay, dear students, I want to give you an assignment, and again you will find the assignment very interesting. Read the original text from chapter 5 to chapter 10 of the novel Far From the Madding Crowd. Try to catch some ideas, some good ideas, and also build your vocabulary, and also summarize those chapters in your own words. This is an assignment for you, dear students, and thank you very much for watching my video lecture. And inshallah, in the third video lecture, I will proceed and conclude the story. Inshallah, till the time we meet, goodbye, happy learning, and keep loving literature.